Sometimes the only way to see a person's true heart is to pretend your own has stopped beating. Chief Williams sat in his grand study, surrounded by portraits of his family. At 75, he owned everything a man could dream of: mansions, hotels, a thriving company. But tonight, something deeper troubled him. He picked up a family photograph, his weathered fingers tracing each face. "Who really loves me?" he whispered to the empty room. "Who will stay when I have nothing left to give?" The question haunted him. His wife Agatha seemed more interested in her social gatherings. His eldest son Frank was already eyeing the company with hungry eyes. David, his second son, spent money like water. Even his daughter Cynthia cared more about fashion, while only Rose, his youngest, still looked at him with genuine warmth. "I need to know the truth," he decided, "before it's too late." The next morning, Chief Williams made two crucial phone calls. First, to his trusted lawyer, "Mr. John, I want to test my family's love. Help me hide half my wealth. If they're only after money, they won't find everything." Second, to his personal doctor, Dr. Maxwell, "Tell my family I'm dying, cancer, 6 months to live. Make it believable." Both men hesitated, but seeing the pain in their old friend's eyes, they agreed. "Sir, are you sure about this?" Mr. John asked. "Some truths are too painful to learn." Chief Williams nodded grimly. "I'd rather know now than wonder forever." The next morning, Chief Williams began the performance of his life. He started coughing violently, stayed in bed, and refused his favorite meals. His family noticed immediately. "Something's wrong with Daddy," Rose said, her voice filled with worry. Dr. Maxwell arrived, examined him thoroughly, then gathered the family in the living room. His face was grave as he delivered the devastating news. "I'm sorry. Your father has advanced cancer. He may not have more than 6 months." The room erupted in gasps and tears. Rose collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Even Frank and David looked genuinely shocked, but Chief Williams was watching. Behind his closed eyelids, he was studying every reaction, every tear, every word. The test had begun. In the first few days, everyone played their parts perfectly. Agatha brought him soup. Frank sat by his bedside reading newspapers. David counseled business trips. Cynthia brought flowers, but Chief Williams knew human nature. He waited by the second week. The cracks began to show. "I can't watch him suffer anymore," Agatha announced, avoiding her husband's room. "It breaks my heart. I have important work to do," Frank said, spending more time at the office than at home. "I can't handle seeing him like this," David muttered, finding excuses to travel. Only Rose remained. Day and night, she fed him, cleaned him, sang to him, and slept on the floor beside his bed. "Daddy, I'll never leave you," she whispered one night, holding his hand. "I'll be right here until the end." Hearing these words, Chief Williams felt his heart break, not from fake illness, but from the realization that only one of his children truly loved him. "I think you should let me handle the company now," Frank announced one morning, barging into his father's room with papers. "You need to rest." Chief Williams, maintaining his weak facade, simply nodded. Within days, Frank had fired all the loyal employees who'd worked for the company for decades. He threw expensive parties, bought luxury cars, and started a failing fashion line, all with company money. "Soon, everything here will be mine," Frank boasted to his friends at one of his parties, not knowing his father could hear every word. Meanwhile, David secretly sold the family's prized hotel and a valuable piece of land, pocketing the money. "Dad's dying anyway," he rationalized. "Someone has to secure our future." Cynthia began demanding expensive jewelry and designer clothes. "If Daddy's going to die, I want to look good at the funeral," she said callously. Only Agatha shocked him the most. She stopped coming to his room entirely, hired a young man named Ben as a personal driver, and began an affair right under her dying husband's nose. One evening, Chief Williams overheard a conversation that shattered his heart. "Let him die first, then we'll sell everything," Agatha said coldly to Cynthia. "Why are we keeping that land anyway?" Cynthia agreed. "Dead men don't need property." Lying in his bed, Chief Williams felt tears roll down his cheeks. Not from physical pain, but from the agony of discovering that the people he'd sacrificed everything for were already planning his funeral. Only Rose continued to care for him, unaware that her siblings were dividing up their father's legacy like vultures. "Please eat something, Daddy," she begged that night, spooning warm soup into his mouth. "I can't bear to lose you." Chief Williams looked at his youngest daughter, the only one who still saw him as a father, not a bank account. The tension exploded when David and Frank discovered each other's schemes. "You sold the hotel behind our backs." Frank screamed. "You've been wasting Dad's money on useless parties." David shot back. They fought like animals while their father lay upstairs, listening to his family destroy itself over money he wasn't even dead yet to leave behind. Rose tried to stop them. "Why are you fighting over Daddy's things while he's still alive? Where is your shame?" But they ignored her, too consumed by greed to remember they still had a father who needed them. As the family destroys itself, will the only daughter who truly loves him be enough to heal a father's broken heart? The night Rose discovered her mother with Ben, her world collapsed. "Mama, how could you?" she sobbed. "Daddy is dying upstairs, and you're here with this stranger." "I'm lonely," Agatha shouted back. "Your father doesn't even talk to me anymore." "Because you stopped trying," Rose screamed. "You gave up on him." That night, Rose made a decision that would change everything. She couldn't watch her family destroy her father's soul anymore. "I'm taking you away from here, Daddy," she whispered to him. "Somewhere people will actually care about you." The next morning, Rose secretly arranged transportation and took her father back to his childhood village. She told no one where they were going. Got in the village, something miraculous happened. The moment news spread that Chief Williams had returned, the entire community mobilized. "Chief gave me money to start my farm. He built our school. He paid for my daughter's wedding." People who had far less than his family gave everything they had. They brought food, traditional medicine, and most importantly, genuine love. An elderly herbalist was called. When he examined Chief Williams privately, something extraordinary happened. "You're not sick, are you?" the herbalist said quietly. Chief Williams looked into the old man's wise eyes and broke down. "No, I wanted to test my family's love. I pretended to be dying to see who would stay." The herbalist nodded slowly. "You are not the first man to fake death to find truth." "What did you discover?" "That only one of my children truly loves me." Chief Williams wept. "The others were already fighting over my corpse." For the first time in months, Chief Williams felt peace. In the village, surrounded by people who remembered his kindness rather than counted his wealth, he began to heal not from fake cancer, but from the deep wounds of family betrayal. "Rose," he called to his daughter one evening as they sat under the stars, "I need to tell you something." When he revealed the truth that he was never sick, that it was all a test, Rose was shocked but not angry. "Daddy, you didn't need to pretend to be dying to know I love you," she said through tears. "I would have stayed by your side even if you had nothing." "I know that now," he whispered. "You're the only one who passed the test." The village elders gathered to hear Chief Williams' confession. Instead of judgment, they offered wisdom. "You have learned something valuable," one elder said. "True love cannot be bought or inherited. It must be given freely. Your daughter is a blessing," another added. "Hold on to her." Chief Williams smiled for the first time in months. In losing his family, he had found his true daughter. With the truth revealed and genuine love discovered, can a father and daughter rebuild from the ashes of betrayal? When Chief Williams returned to the city, he was a changed man. No longer the weak, dying patriarch, he walked into his mansion with strength and purpose. The gateman's jaws dropped. "Chief, you single quotes, you're walking." Inside, the family's shock was even greater. Cynthia dropped her phone. David pulled off his headphones in disbelief. Frank's wine bottle shattered on the floor. "Daddy," they whispered, as if seeing a ghost. Only Agatha seemed terrified, as if she knew her sins were about to be exposed. "Good afternoon," Chief Williams said simply, then walked straight to his master bedroom. The family surrounded Rose like vultures. "What happened? How is he cured? What did you do?" Rose looked at them with cold eyes. "I gave him what he needed: love, care, and peace. If you want to know more, ask him yourselves." That night, Chief Williams revealed his secret weapon. Hidden cameras had recorded everything. Every conversation, every betrayal, every moment of greed had been captured. He called Mr. John the next morning. "It's time. Bring all the documents. We end this today." The family gathered in the living room, sensing something momentous was about to happen. Chief Williams entered, no longer weak but powerful, carrying the weight of truth. "I was never sick," he announced. "I never had cancer. It was all a test." The room went silent. You could hear hearts breaking. I wanted to know who loved me for who I am, not what I have. You all failed except for one person. He turned to Frank. You destroyed my company, fired loyal workers, and wasted money on parties. The company money you spent was your inheritance. It's gone. Frank collapsed in his chair, sobbing. To David, you sold my hotel and land, your inheritance, with your own hands. Thank God for Mr. John's wisdom in buying them back secretly. Since you wanted to sell them so badly, consider them sold. You have nothing left. David fell to his knees, begging forgiveness. To Cynthia, you wanted to sell my land too. From today, you get nothing until you prove yourself worthy through actions, not words. Cynthia wept uncontrollably. To Agatha, you brought another man into my house while I lay on what you thought was my deathbed. You have 24 hours to leave, forever. Agatha's world crumbled. Finally, Chief Williams turned to Rose, his voice filled with pride and love. Rose, you are the only one who stayed. You fed me, bathed me, sang to me, and loved me when everyone else had already written me off. For that, everything I have left now belongs to you. Mr. John, effective immediately. Rose is the new CEO of my company. Call back all the loyal workers Frank fired. Tell them their jobs are waiting. The family sat in stunned silence as their youngest sister inherited everything they had fought over. Under Rose's leadership, the company flourished beyond anyone's imagination. Profits doubled, new branches opened, and the loyal workers who returned called her Madame Rose the Wise. Chief Williams, now healthy and at peace, watched his daughter conduct board meetings with wisdom beyond her years. His test had revealed not just his family's true nature, but also his daughter's hidden strength. Frank and David found jobs elsewhere, slowly learning the value of earning money instead of inheriting it. Both sent regular letters to their father, hoping for forgiveness. Cynthia worked tirelessly to prove herself, starting a small business and donating to charity. She visited her father weekly, not asking for money but simply trying to rebuild their relationship. Agatha disappeared entirely. Some said she moved to another city. Others claimed she married Ben. No one knew for certain, and frankly, no one cared. Chief Williams often sat in his garden, reflecting on the journey. He had risked everything, his relationships, his family's love, even his own happiness, to discover the truth. Was it worth it? Rose asked him one evening. Yes, he replied without hesitation. I learned that love cannot be bought, inherited, or demanded. It must be given freely, with no expectation of return. And I learned that sometimes the greatest wealth is not what you leave behind, but who chooses to stay with you when you have nothing left to give. Rose smiled, understanding the depth of her father's wisdom. Rose, Chief Williams said one day, I want you to remember something. When your time comes to test others' love, don't use deception, use generosity. Love attracts love, but lies, even well-intentioned ones, leave scars. I understand, Daddy, but I also understand why you did what you did. Sometimes we need to lose everything to discover what truly matters. Chief Williams nodded, finally, at peace. His test had cost him most of his family, but it had given him something priceless, the knowledge that at least one person in this world loved him unconditionally. Sometimes the greatest test of love is not what people do when you're strong, but who stays when you're weak. And sometimes, just sometimes, one person's true love is worth more than 1,000 people's false promises.